What's up guys, it's Dave from BLT-Tech. Today I'm changing the battery in my 2017 BMW i3, so let's get into it. First thing you want to do is open the front trunk door using this button. But if you lost power because your battery's died, you may need to access this pull cord that's in this compartment here. So pop this little cover open and get this cord here and give it a pull, and that'll pop your trunk. Once you have your trunk open, you can remove these left and right panels by just pulling up here. They're Velcro down. Swing them up and pull them out. Pull it up hard, swing it up, and lift it out. This next step is very important. You need to disconnect the high voltage on your car before you start working on it. So to do that, there's a little green circuit breaker on the right hand side, and you need to pull up this little red tab. Carefully pull it up until it pulls out a little bit. Support the whole body because it's really fragile and it feels like it's going to break off, so just be very careful. Put your finger on the back side, your thumb on the front, and pinch it hard and then pull it up. And it'll click. Pull it all the way out, pull it all the way up. There'll be a hole on this side. You can slip something like to prevent it from closing in. I'm putting this mini carabiner on here, but you can put whatever you want in there so that it's preventing it from going down accidentally. It has a lock on there to prevent it from going down. I'll show you when we put this thing together how to release the locks to let it. But it's a good idea to put this interlock in here so that it doesn't accidentally, for whatever reason, reconnect the high voltage while you're working on this. So this is a very important step. This next step involves removing the trunk bin from the front of the car. And to do that, we're going to remove 6 screws. And these 2 screws, 1, 2, 3, and 4, are T25 Torx. And there's 2 more screws here down at the bottom, 1 and 2. These happen to be T27 Torx. So use those bits and pull this thing out. Let's do it. I'm using this mini ratchet bit driver that I got on Amazon. I'll share the link with you below. After you remove 4 screws, just pull out the trunk bin and set it aside. The next step, you have to remove the battery hold-down bracket. So you want to remove a 10mm bolt that's back there, way back there, and another one that's on the bottom of the bracket, right there. To remove the one that's way back there, I'm using a 3-inch, 1/4-inch extension plus a 6-inch extension. So if you have 9 inches at least, or a 12-inch extension, it's going to be better for you. Little 3-inch extension on the bottom. After you got these 2 10mm bolts off, you just pull this bracket right off. Next step is to remove this windshield wiper fluid extension tube. So all you have to do is get a good grip on it and just turn it counterclockwise, and it's gonna turn, and then you pull it straight out. This will give you a little bit of access to get the battery out. Careful you don't lose this little tiny O-ring seal. Let's keep that for later. The next thing you want to do on the side of the battery is a rubber vent tube, and you want to reach back here on the side of the battery and just pull it straight down and disconnect it. So you want to do that so that when you try to pull the battery out later, you don't break the little elbow that's on the battery, and also you don't pull the tube out from your car on accident. Next thing we're going to do is remove the battery terminals. First we're going to do the negative one. There's a 10mm nut on this side, and deep on this side, on the positive terminal, you have to pull this cover off, and back here is another 10mm nut on the positive terminal. So let's do it. First, remove the negative side. After you get it loose, you can use your fingers too. Then just pull it straight off the battery post. It's a good idea to wrap something around it so it doesn't accidentally make contact. I'm going to use this paper towel to wrap around this terminal. That'll work. Next is the positive terminal. You just have to loosen them so you can pull them straight off the post. Careful with the other electrical wires that are on here. You don't want to break them. You should disconnect this one so you can get it out of the way safely. With the battery terminals off, you just have to kind of move it out of the way and shimmy the battery towards the front. Careful with the cables. And it barely will slide through and out. Next, we're going to remove these two brass adapters for the battery terminals using a T30 Torx bit. Take them off the old battery, put them on the new battery. When you get your new battery, it doesn't hurt to check the voltage to make sure that it's fully charged. It should read at least 12.6 volts. If you buy it new, this one's only a month old, so it's pretty good. You can see your old battery. My old battery is 7.1 volts. So this vent elbow, you need to remove it from the old battery and move it onto the new battery because the new battery doesn't come with it. So now we're installing the battery. A slight angle helps. Slip it onto the battery tray. Put it in place. Lift up the positive terminal, get it out of the way. Careful, don't break the vent tube. There it is. Next, we're going to put the positive terminal on, but first, don't forget to connect that wire that you took off. Put the positive terminal on first, and tighten up that 10mm nut. I'm using a mini ratchet. I'll leave the link down below in the description. It's pretty handy, but open end wrench also works. But I think the ratchet is a little bit easier to get in here. Just like any battery post terminal, don't over tighten it. Cover the terminal with the insulator plastic cover. Careful of all the wires, don't break anything. Next is the negative terminal. Take off my insulator. Whoops, you can see that is live. Here we go. Put it on quickly to the battery terminal. You might hear your car come back to life. And then tighten up the negative terminal. until it's snug. Next, you're going to want to reconnect this vent tube to the side of the battery. So just plug the tube back into that little L fitting, and that's it. Next step, we're going to put this battery hold down bracket back in place. Just line up the holes. Put the bottom one in first. Just thread them in by hand. The back one is pretty deep. You can get your hand in there and start that bolt by hand too. Tighten them down with the 10 millimeter. I'm going to do the back one first, actually. Use your 9-inch or 12-inch extension. Little 3-inch extension on the bottom makes your job easy. Inside the filler tube, there's a little O-ring. If it falls out, just make sure you seat it back at the bottom of the fitting there. Next, we'll put the filler tube back in place. Make sure it's pointing the right way. Probably won't fit if it's going the wrong way. Give it a good turn, and it'll go as far as it goes and lock into position. Next, we're gonna reapply the high voltage. So I'm gonna remove my carabiner I was using as an interlock, and then right here there's a hole. You have to put a little screwdriver in there, move the little lock out of the way, pinch this, the black and the red, and then push it down, and it should go back to the original position. And then the last thing you want to do is push down this red lock. Now the high voltage is reapplied to your system. Next, we're going to put this bin back in place. Just slide it back into position, line up all the holes, and then reinstall all the screws. Remember, the two big ones go on the bottom, and the 4 smaller ones go on the sides. Next, reinstall the left and right panels. Just put it in the slot and press down hard. Right here you'll hear the Velcro click in place. Put the slots in first, and then drop it down and press these little spots until you hear the Velcro click in place. Next, we're going to want to register our battery. So turn the accessory power on first. Then plug in the Bluetooth interface into the OBD2 port. Then open your Bimmerlink app and press connect. Select your interface. Mine is the V-Peak OBD-Tech. I'll leave a link to this Bluetooth adapter in the link for you. Press connect. It's connecting. Now I have an option to select the 12-volt battery. Press register new battery. Choose same capacity and type. Press register new battery. The app's going to talk to the car. Battery registered successful. Tells me the battery is a 20 amp battery. Charge is 84%. And that's it. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. Don't forget to check the links down below in the description, and leave a comment if you have any questions. All the tools that I use, the OBD2 Bluetooth reader, all the links are going to be in the description below for you. So good luck changing your battery, and if you have any comments, leave me a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.